Managing this. Edit this. Title and description. But I need to edit. No, it's not. Thumbnail. All right. Now that that's in here. All right. I'm good. Looks like the stream's good.
Yep.
And we should be up in 1 second. I don't keep wrong button. All right. Does it look lighting look all right? Should I change anything? Is that better? Worse?
Good. Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Cool. All right. Let's get this bad boy started. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait. Sorry. Let's get it out there on the. I gotta send out the link.
Indent.
So punctual.
What? We're punctual.
I said we're so punctual.
Or the opposite of punctual is. The spreadsheet that I'm gonna make though.
All right.
This is what I should have been doing all day at work.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We just gotta waste our work hours on the podcast. Cause then it's like we're actually getting paid for it. All right. Let's get started. Let's see. Anyone in here yet before we get started? Anyone jump right in? No. All right. Well, start in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I am your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
What you guys doing?
Doing well. I decided right at the beginning of this, right when I press record, that I'm going to fix this lighting. And
You just asked me for my opinion like 30 seconds ago, and I said you look fine.
And I ignored it.
You're going to town again.
Yep. I didn't think I didn't like it. All right. Here we go.
Disaster of a start.
This is a great start. All right, well, we're back. The first NFL game is under our belts, Chris. We're here. We made it. We survived. Right. And my God, could have not come at a better time. It just that's all I was thinking about. It's just like, man, it was the perfect time. We were just running out of content. We were pretty much out. We were at the bottom of the barrel. It was looking bleak, and here it comes, the first game of the season. Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs. Comes in, Detroit. You know, they're the sleeping giant. We talked a lot about them, how they're high expectations coming into this season. Well, they took care of business against the Chiefs. The defending Super Bowl champions upset them at their home stadium, and it was, it wasn't the most exciting game in the world, but it had its moments. It had its ups and downs, and it was a lot of fun to have football back on our screen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you're right. Like the last month, probably, I think we've just been milking as much off-season content as we can.
Literally football-related content. Just milking it out.
There's only so many like position group rankings that we can do, and feature bets that we like, and bold predictions before it just starts getting old.
We never did it. We didn't do a bold. bold prediction this year, did we?
No, we did bold predictions.
Yeah, we probably did
Where I
like
said that
5.
Trey Lance
Yeah,
was gonna
you're right.
win.
You're right.
Well,
you're right,
actually,
no,
we
you're
can't
right.
be held accountable for those.
Yes, those we can't be held accountable. They're not bold. They're different. They're different. We switch it up every year. There's always something we do.
But yeah, it was awesome to have football back. It was a weird game, not a super well played game, which I guess makes sense. It's week 1, but I think we learned a lot about both of these teams. And I say for at least the first part of this, we just overreact, and then maybe we can once we're done with our overreactions, then we can take a step back and actually discuss. Chiefs look horrible.
Let's get a disclaimer out there for the people who are, just getting into football. If you're not, this is your first time, around the block. Week 1 in general, and this game is the poster boy for it. It's the first game. It is overreaction city. So things we say here, honestly, should just be put let's just keep let's just keep this as off-season talk. This is just
it literally means nothing.
Yeah, let's have it be
means nothing.
But in the relative to that, let's overreact. Does it actually mean nothing when the Kansas City Chiefs, their leading rusher is Mahomes, their of course their leading passer is Mahomes, and if available to catch his own passes would be the leading receiver, Patrick Mahomes. Did they have enough weapons around him? All we said all offseason, it doesn't matter. And it looked like it mattered quite a bit today, or last night.
Well, it matters when the only weapon is out.
Yes.
So it's not like he has no weapons. He has one weapon.
Yeah.
And he has a bunch of fillers, guys that can run down the field, and they can take up space so that not everyone is on Travis Kelce. When you take away 11 receptions, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns every game, and your other guys aren't always open, then things get a little dicey. And suddenly their flaws are in the spotlight. And for a guy like Kadarius Toney, that's the worst possible thing that could have happened. That he is the number 1 option and exposed.
It was and as you said, the wide receivers weren't wide open. They were wide open. They were plenty wide open today, last night. All of them were. And as you said, let's just, my league winner, my golden goose, I put all of my eggs in the Kadarius Toney basket. And ignoring every factor.
So bad.
But this is the worst part about it. I ignored every red flag of his injuries. That was the red flag. He can't stay on the field. He's never out there. Yada, yada, yada. And I ignored it all. He's out there. He's playing week 1. He's the number 1 wide receiver in this offense. Now that Kelce's out, it should be all on him. And what I didn't expect was for him to suck at catching the football. It's not what I expected whatsoever. 3 drop passes. 1 resulted in a pick 6. The other 2 were just absolutely brutal. They would have been, I think one was a 3rd down reception that mattered. That was they were down by 1 possession. And then the other
was the one at the end of the game when
yes.
they had the ball at midfield, and it would have been a 15-20 yard pickup, and then stops it. Next play is a holding, and then all of a sudden it's 2nd and 20.
Yep. And then
at a crucial spot in the game.
Well, and in crucial spots of the game, you had Sky Moore drop that 4th and 25 that Mahomes literally completed basically.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
That was an insane.
They almost got
pass. And it went right in his hands, dropped. But besides just the wide receivers not being able to catch, the running attack was Pacheco. There was a lot of my guy Edwards-Helaire, who I thought was cut on our draft night.
I thought he was cut too. Why did I think that?
Because I said it on our draft night and I reported it.
Okay.
I lied to the people out there.
When he got the ball, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you're he's still on the team?
I thought he was cut.
Yeah, I didn't know you're still here. So he's getting the ball. Pacheco wasn't doing much. They couldn't, and then all of a sudden they were down and they couldn't get the running attack going. It was bad. It was a bad soup. It's a bad soup that Kansas City was in. Are these fixable? Like, is this all fixed with Travis Kelce?
Maybe not all of it, but I think a lot of it. Something I am curious about is how much they lose by not having the enemy around anymore. Because it feels like the talk, the offseason, like no one really cared about that.
No.
It's more of, he just benefited from having Andy Reid, and like, yeah, he's probably a good offensive coordinator, but it's Andy Reid's offense. It doesn't matter. Maybe it does. I don't know though. I also don't know enough about ball in general and like coaching specifically to know whether or not it's a coach's fault, unless it's like blatantly obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But that is something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and you're going from the enemy
really
to Matt Nagy, who we've seen fumble an offensive round for a little bit, and he was the offensive coordinator, I believe, for a little bit in Kansas City before he got the head coaching job. But now he's back there. He's the mastermind, and it will be interesting to see, especially in compared to Washington. Maybe Washington gets a little more creative and has some of these explosive plays that we should have been seeing from Mahomes over there. And I mean,
they had better weapons than the Chiefs. I knew that.
As electric as Mahomes was, and he carried the team, he had a couple like ducks and like a lot of almost interceptions that the Lions just kind of let sail past. And I just think like these guys, it doesn't look like they were like the second Travis Kelce was out, it was like, oh, the game plan was kind of like thrown out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, they didn't look great. He didn't look great. Like there were some throws that he missed, but the way that I looked at it was kind of like no quarterback in the NFL is even getting themselves in position to be able to make a throw like that.
Oh yeah.
So you can't criticize him too much.
I agree.
No, he was not. He was not 100% Patrick Mahomes. That's for sure. It's also week one. So.
But he also had, I think, like 9 drops on his team. So that
right, yeah. And the interception, like that was a perfectly thrown ball. That was obviously not his fault.
Yeah. On the Lions side, to give the Lions their credit, they played the Lions played their type of football. This is what Dan Campbell, I think, would choose to win every single game by 1, than have like a couple blowouts and a couple losses. You know, he would want.
Oh yeah.
He would want to win every single game by 1 point and running the football. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs looked good every carry they gave him. David Montgomery was exactly what they wanted him for. It's exactly what they signed him for. 3.5 yards a carry, 75 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I was 6 yards away from getting his over. I was 10 yards away from getting Jared Goff's over. And those are the last 2 legs of the parlay. Would have been $114 coming my way.
Killer.
But that's okay. That's water under the bridge. They play great defense. Part of it, of course, we talked about the drops and the wide receiver problems and stuff like that. But they played good defense. Their rookies were where they needed to be. Gardner Johnson, I thought, had a good game. And Goff, Goff did what he needed to do. He struggled early. I thought it was like, this could be rough. Goff
looked like
season.
trouble.
Yeah, it did look like trouble. The pressure was getting to him even without Chris Jones, and I was getting really worried.
Mm-hmm.
But the offensive line really helped out, or solidified. And after that fumble by Marvin Jones Jr., they really just kind of kept running the football the whole time. They would run the football, do play action. Amon-Ra St. Brown, run the ball, play action. Josh Reynolds is open down the field. You know, it was exactly how they wanted to play, and the Chiefs fell right into their trap. And since they couldn't make it a shootout, it was exactly what Dan wanted.
They're a gritty team. It's interesting because last year they said they were the 4th best offense in the league, and the defense was just so bad, and a lot of games they were winning were shootouts, and that's complete opposite to what this one was. Like, defense, when they needed big stops, were getting stops.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of that drive at the end of the half when they gave up the long third down. But other than that, like they completely slowed this offense down in the second half.
Talk about that play though, because you were texting me about that play.
Oh yeah, well it's towards the end of the second quarter. I think we were tied at 7, and he's had the ball at midfield, like a 7-yard gain on 3rd and 10. So it's 4th down. A holding, and Campbell accepts the penalty to make it 3rd and 17 instead of 4th down and 3. Which, like, I guess if you're playing the field position game, sure, but you got to know who you're playing against, right? Like, not surprising to see them pick up a 3rd down and anything. Like, they almost picked up a freaking 4th and 25. So, naturally, they get it, 3rd and 17, and then they score a touchdown like 2 or 3 plays later, and then all of a sudden you're down 7. But I kind of thought about that more, and I was like, well, Dan Campbell's going to coach aggressively regardless, and scored your first touchdown because he was aggressive and faked that punt inside his own 20.
That was epic.
Insane move.
That was epic.
But it worked. So you're going to live and die by that. Like, there's going to be games that they lose. Hopefully it's not big games or playoff games that they lose because they do something stupid, super aggressive at the wrong time. It's going to happen at some point or another. But you're going to live and die by that. That's just who he is. They were gritty.
They were.
I mean, that's Dan Campbell loves grit.
And when you look at the rest of their schedule, I mean, this was the hardest game on their schedule, and they did it. So they're going in. I mean, Seahawks, Falcons. The next tough game is the Ravens, and you have the Chargers, and then the Cowboys, and the rest of their schedule, besides the 2 Vikings games, are pretty dog. So they've set themselves up in a great position, and that number 1 seed could be cashing in.
Good start.
Yeah, absolutely great start. They could go into the Ravens game, and of course this is all hypothetical, but like now they should be favored in all these games, and they should be going in probably like 6-0.
6-0. You're giving them 6-0.
Look, they're facing the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Packers, the Panthers, and the Bucks. They should be favored in every one of those games, right? Besides maybe the Packers, because the Packers are at home.
I think so. It depends on how the Packers look. Yeah. I think so. Next week's probably a letdown spot, though.
Huge letdown spot.
My
Big Gino
brain is in mode.
Big Gino game coming next week. So, yeah. I want to talk.
Seen him play this week.
I know. We haven't even seen him play yet. But I want to talk about the 4th and 25 play real quick, because my roommate saw something on Reddit that I thought was interesting. He said what the Chiefs could have done is on 4th and 25, backed up all the way to the 9-yard line.
Oh, I saw this.
And then the Lions they'd be up by 1, and they'd have to score either a field goal or a touchdown within 4 plays, and then the Chiefs could get the ball back. So worst case scenario, you're down 4. Or no, worst case scenario, you're down 9 and it's over. But best case scenario, you're down 4 and you get the ball back with 2 minutes left.
Right, because you had to get a stop regardless.
Yeah. But the issue is, they would have, if the Lions would have scored a touchdown there, most likely they go for 2. And if they go for 2, that's game over. And they get it. It's game over. It's 9 points.
Wait, what?
Because they were up by 1. If they score a touchdoone and go for 2, they're up by 9.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
All hypotheticals, but interesting
scenario. I also don't understand, like,
do you think a team would ever do that? Clearly, Andy Reid didn't either think about it or...
Yeah, I don't think that's Andy Reid's. That's like a nerd coach.
It's like a Brandon Staley move. It's like, this is what we're going to do.
Well, it would not work for them.
Yeah, he'll do that in a playoff game.
If Belichick did it, it would be smart, but if Brandon Staley did it, it would not be.
Yeah, like this would be like a great Vrabel move, but like a terrible like Josh McDaniels move.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Are you ready for some wise picks? I
I'm
think we
so
covered
ready.
everything.
I'm like,
Oh,
in
no,
the-
we didn't cover one thing. How the hell is Chris Jones allowed to be at the game?
I was wondering that too.
In the
It's like, you're
box,
holding
too?
out. Yeah.
He's sitting next to the
guy
commissioner and
who
the owners.
splanked. Yeah, that was really weird. Um,
They
he said he's prepared to take fines up to week 8, but he just wanted to see the banner get raised.
the whole holdouts like culture has just like the NFL is just like letting this happen. They're like letting like these people like remember when Watson held out on the Texans and just they paid him all year for no reason.
Yeah,
why
well,
why
it
would they just
sounds
do
like
that?
it sounds like Jones is gonna get fined, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Um, I don't know. Like, it's
At least he's getting fined, but
never
like don't
understand these
invite him in the
holdouts.
box. That's ridiculous.
How don't they just sign him?
I don't know. They should just sign him. They needed him last night.
Of course they did. He's their best defensive player.
All right, let's move on. That's all I wanted to end it off with. Wise picks. First of the 2023 season. I'm very excited. I went first, and I picked who did I pick first? I picked the Packers plus 1.5 at the Bears. What are we doing here? The Packers are better than the Bears. And they own the Bears. I don't care that it's in Chicago. I don't care about Fields and the hype around the Bears. Give me some old school NFC North. Give me the Packers plus 1.5.
I like this pick. And we talked plenty in our offseason about the Bears. How it's just not
How they won
year
2
yet.
games last year.
How they were literally the worst team in the NFL last year. And people are expecting that to drastically change this year.
Oh,
It's just
Dobbs,
like,
Dobbs and Watson are out for the Packers, though.
Did see Watson was out. I didn't know Dobbs was too.
Jeez.
What about a team with no weapons? Who else do they have?
Oh, God. I don't know. All right, well, I'm still riding with the pick.
I actually have no idea.
Oh, Romeo Dobbs is questionable. All right, Romeo Dobbs is questionable.
Even so, it's like it's Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, it's not anyone impressive.
A huge game changer.
Either way, I don't trust. This is the anti-Bears pick. I don't trust the Bears.
Yes.
I don't trust them at
That's
all.
fair. Well, and it's just going based off history. Like the Packers kicked the hell out of the Bears, especially in Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. So Jordan Love's gonna right the
It's
ship.
just-
He's gonna carry on the legacy, and it's gonna start week 1.
Like it. Definitely
Glad-
like it.
Glad you like it. All right.
All right, I am going with Offensive Rookie of the Year, Anthony Richardson, going into Jacksonville at plus 4.5. The Colts for anyone who's
This is stinky.
a football head. They're all stinky. My picks are.
You picked some
Very
dogs,
stinky.
and there's some stinkers.
So here's my strategy: is to try to find the smelliest games.
Okay.
That's what's worked for me in the past. It didn't work last year, but last year I think I kind of got away from that a little bit. Like that's how I started out. It didn't start out well, so then I jumped ship. I stay committed to that this year. Just sniff out the worst lines that I can find. This Jacksonville team, Pete Prisco picked the Jaguars to go to the Super Bowl. The Colts are undoubtedly one of the NFL's dumpster teams
Yeah.
at this moment. But
You just
I
think
just lost my turn.
you just like all right,
Completely.
are you thinking let down for let down for Jacksonville and T-Law?
It's not even that. It's more T-Law. I hate that nickname. It's more so divisional matchups early in the season. I feel like divisional matchups, they always play close. And a bad team in week 1
Wins.
nothing to lose. They don't
No,
know that they're bad.
A bad team in week 1 wins too.
Right?
And I don't know, there's speaking of history, and I guess wasn't it the Jags that beat the Colts when the Colts were like poised to make the playoffs. So I guess it was opposite.
Yes, the Wentz game.
Yeah. So maybe this is like a little revenge for the Colts. A little like stop the smoke of the Jaguars a little bit. I like it, and I think you're right. Like the Colts will have nothing to play for, but the first 2 weeks, like 2 divisional games, Colts, Jaguars, Texans, like they think they can start 2-0. So I like this.
That's right. Yeah, like I doubt the Colts are not scared of the Jaguars.
No,
there's like too much hype around the Jags this year.
I'm scared of the Jaguars for your pick.
That's why I like it.
Because I do like the Jags. I think the Jags are good. But
you do. Everybody does.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Colts.
All right, fair enough.
This reasoning, like if these picks start losing, this reasoning is going to be horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
mean,
like,
you're literally picking.
I don't like this team.
You're literally picking the smelliest teams on purpose. So you just got to ride with it.
That's right. So we'll see if maybe I'm trying to be too cute. We'll see. I like dogs. I like week 1 dogs, especially divisional. My next pick is the same way.
My next pick is a dog. Again, I'm taking. I feel like one of us has to take him like every week. We just gotta like ride the Titans every week.
We're on it.
Yeah, dude.
I threw some on their over win total.
Okay, so. We're all right. If you've been sleeping under a rock the past couple podcasts, we are a Tighten Up podcast. And we're ready. Oh, hello from Jack from Alabama. But anyways, we're Tennessee Titans podcast. We think that they're slept on.
Tightened up.
I hate the Saints. Most interceptions, Derek Carr. They don't have Alvin Kamara. Who knows if they have Michael Thomas? I don't even know if he exists anymore, but he's there.
Hey, I drafted him, and you liked the pick.
No, I do. I love Michael Thomas. We talked about this last episode. I love Michael Thomas. But going in, I like it. I like the Titans. I think they can at least keep this a field goal game. That'll be a push, but close to a field goal game. And I think they take the win here. I think they completely take the win here, and they show that they're not this bottom dumpster team, and that they're ready to compete.
Like it.
They're gonna tighten up.
The only thing that worries me.
I said they're gonna tighten up.
The only thing that worries me a little bit is the dome. I always get scared of playing.
The dome is terrifying. But the dome has not been the same since Breeze has left the dome. So
no, it's not. Breeze and Peyton kind of made the dome. Yeah,
that's the other thing. Like this is
Dennis Allen, Derek Carr are not scaring me that much.
Not at all. Not at all. D-Hop too. I think he comes in and shows that he would have been a great Kansas City Chief.
That's what I was gonna say earlier. I forgot to. Is that
we were all
calling teams like asking to be signed.
He was begging to be signed by the Chiefs.
Sky Morris, Kadarius Toney, and Rashid Rice, and decided that they didn't want to go after him. So
they're gonna look like fools. Because I think he's gonna be good, and I think he's gonna have a good week 1, and they're gonna look like fools.
Hope he does.
Yeah. All right. Next up.
All right, my next pick, another road dog in the division. We're going with the Rams, the most hated on team in the NFL. Actually, by you. At the Seahawks, most uncertain team in the NFL. I love that, especially in Seattle.
No Cooper Kupp.
That's fine.
You're riding with Puka Naku and Van Jefferson.
Weird things happen in Seattle. That's what I know.
Great point. Weird things happen in week 1. Another key point. Matthew Stafford has yet to break a bone. It's a good point.
Does anyone believe in the Rams?
No. I think you might be the only one.
Here we go. Perfect. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think this game is competitive.
Fair enough. That's a fair point.
I like this one. Yeah.
They have a bear team.
Have a what?
I'm looking like a bear team. They do not have a lot of players that are recognized. I'm looking at their depth chart
I
right
don't
now.
need depth in week 1.
No, you're right. You don't need depth in week 1. You need players, though.
66% of the bets are on Seattle.
That screams
Like that.
wise pick for you, Chris. So I'm gonna
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna accept your strategy this week and not shit on you until it doesn't work. So
Also, 64% of the bets are on Jacksonville.
love it.
Look at me go.
All right, Chris. What do we have up next? We have a Wise Bowl.
Perfect way to start the year, right?
Yeah, I feel like week 1 we always do a Wise Bowl, and it's not like on purpose either. We just kind of just both end up.
Yeah, it never is.
So going with Chris's stinkiest lines, he's taking the Buccaneers +6. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings -6. Kirk Cousins 1 p.m. They're winning by a touchdown, dude. Kirk Cousins 1 p.m. Talk about the dome. There's a new dome in town, and it's the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm not scared. Lost in the dome in the playoffs.
That's
to
true.
Daniel Jones.
That's true.
That dome is nothing.
They didn't lose to Baker though.
You know what?
I'll tell you that.
You know what I'm thinking is that the Baker Mayfield cycle on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like everyone doubts him.
Yep.
Like, underdog mentality,
Yep.
wins big game, gets hyped, plays like shit. We're in the everyone doubts him. The underdog mentality right now.
We've
I know that cycle. He's gonna have a good game week 1.
We've gone over this because you brought this up before, and that game is week 2. It's perfect for the Bears. Baker is gonna look
Vikings
fantastic.
defense does not scare me.
That is what I am worried about the Vikings defense. I don't think the Vikings defense is good.
No
whatsoever.
one on the Vikings defense scares me.
No, I don't think the Vikings defense is good at all. But I don't think the Buccaneers are good at all. Like, I don't think they can move the football.
Not. Well, they still have Evans and Godwin.
Evans until he's a Chief later this season.
Okay, they have him this week.
That's true. Well, it's called a Wise Bowl for a reason, so we'll have to check it out. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we don't agree with each other.
Yeah, we don't. We don't agree with each other.
I am going against everything I know with the Kirk Cousins at 1 p.m. against that team.
You are. You're. It's honestly sacrilegious for you, really. And I think I'm using that. I'm using that part of my. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm using part of that as my that's part of my advantage. It's like this is just not. It's not you, Chris. You don't believe it. You're just trying to find the smelliest line. You don't believe this.
I rarely believe in my picks. That's why I like them the most. The ones that I hate the most are the ones that are my favorite.
Sadly, I was gonna say the Baker jersey might need to come out this week, but you're gonna be in FedEx, so that's
be repping a different jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who are you wearing this weekend?
Sean Taylor.
All right, nice.
All I have, my jerseys are Sean Taylor and Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed's a great one.
And yeah, well, as soon as I bought that jersey, he never played another game in the NFL.
Yeah, that's okay. Still got the jersey.
And then I have my Tressway T-shirt.
Tressway.
It's got a big Redskin logo on the front.
Nice.
Just a little obnoxious. My Sean Taylor one, it says it, but it's like this is like the big face, the old logo.
Yeah, that might be a little.
All there is on the T-shirt. So.
Okay.
Any feathers.
To recap, we won't have a perfect week this week because we have a Wise Bowl, but
some pushes.
We could get some pushes. I have the Packers +1.5. I have the All right, Packers +1.5 at the Bears. I have the Titans +3.5 at the Saints. I have the Vikings -6 at home versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris has the Colts +4.5 home against Jacksonville. The Rams at Seattle +5.5. And the Buccaneers +6 at the Vikings. We have a Wise Bowl. So those are the picks. That's what we're riding with. Put them in a parlay. It works 100% of the time, 60% of the time.
60% of the time, it wins.
Exactly. So, any other games you want to talk about? Your Super Bowl Ravens are are gonna look like.
I'm shocked that neither of us took that line.
-10.
Week 1 Ravens.
Week 1
How did
Ravens.
they get a cupcake
Every
every
year.
single week 1?
I don't
Like
know.
they'll win this game by 30.
Yep. I agree. I
There was a
thought.
boost on DraftKings in Maryland that made their money line even odds. So I just
Wow.
hopped on that.
Yeah, you had to hop on that. That's free
Boost.
money right there.
Mhm.
Your Commanders at Cardinals. We talked about it a little bit about last episode on Wednesday.
Big spread.
Talk about big spread. Do you think you guys are covering? I know you said you didn't care if you covered or not, but do you think you're covering?
I'd like to think so.
All right.
I don't know though.
Panthers Falcons, possibly a game of the week. Could be a fun game.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that could be a fun game. How are we looking
This one's,
there?
yeah.
For my
I feel
division
like
bets.
This is a toss-up.
Oh, it's definitely a
I'd like to go with the underdog, right?
You're going
You
Panthers?
truly think it's 50-50 game? Yeah.
I mean, that's our team. That's our second team. I guess now
That's
it's
right.
our second team. It's our original team. Titans are our new team. And the Falcons are our
You like
anti-team.
Atlanta too, though.
Falcons are like they're like the
Ritter captain thing.
The Falcons are like our
Can't get past
antichrist. We can't handle the Falcons. Didn't we have a ban on them?
Yes.
Yeah, we had a ban on them. Niners Steelers should be fun. If it's not, this could be either really fun or a terrible slugfest from both sides of the ball.
I don't like the under in this. It's only
Under.
41.5.
41 is the total. I still do kind of like the under.
Like anything under or above 40, the under that game.
Raiders Broncos Cheeks. Eagles Pats will be fun. Roommates with an Eagles fan, so that'll be exciting. Yeah. Shout out Mike. I don't know what I don't know what like
How do you feel?
not good. Like I don't think we're gonna win. Like I don't have confidence that the Pats are gonna win. And it's like this is like such a stupid. I hate having a bad week 1 because it's so like deflating for the rest of the season. The only thing you see is a loss that first week, and I guess let's not chalk it up to a loss yet. If any given Sunday, you gotta play the game. But
Only 4-point to underdog.
yeah, at home too. But when looking at the team, like I just want to see some confidency on offense. I just want to see the guys know what they're doing, and I hate remember the past like 2 years, especially that first Mac year, kept talking about these moral victories. Pats keep having, and that's what I'm scared this game's gonna end up looking like. It's probably maybe it gets
Moral victory.
Yeah, it'll maybe they come it close at the end and they make it like a 7-point game. Maybe they cover the spread, but I don't see them winning. I think at most is a moral victory. But
Would you be okay with that, or are we in no moral victories?
no, I mean I'll take a moral victory over
right.
just a deflating loss, but I of course want a normal victory over all of that. I'll take the moral victory. Then that'll give me some hope for the rest, some Mac and some offense hope. That's really all I need to see. Packers Bears we talked about. Chargers Dolphins is an interesting game.
It's an interesting game. Have we seen Tua versus Herbert yet?
I don't know.
I think we should have, but I don't know if we have. It is an interesting game. Their 4th year now in the league.
They played last year, right? And remember that was the Tyreek
They
Hill fumble, and they fumbled, and then he picked it up and just ran all the way to the end zone. Wasn't that game?
My memory is not doing me well here. I don't know.
Okay, well, Tua beat them last time.
Okay.
So they have played against each other.
Revenge game.
Tua has beaten them. Revenge game for Herbert over there.
Like the over.
I like the over
points
too.
Game.
Yeah, this seems like a fun
High
game.
number, but
What's the number?
it feels
50,
51.
Wait. Oh, damn. All right, I was gonna guess.
Are you gonna guess?
All right, I was gonna
It's
guess
the
like
line.
53. Yeah, no, this should be fun. This should be like a red zone for 425 red zone lock.
Oh yeah.
Like this should be on the red zone every 25 minutes. And that and the Eagles-Pats are the best of the late games, for sure. And then Cowboys-Giants, Bills-Jets.
Mm.
Cowboys-Giants we talked about last time. Why
we
gotta
already talked about that, but
Yeah, why do we gotta have
I'd rather
Cowboys-Giants?
see the Panthers-Falcons, honestly.
Chargers-Dolphins should have been Sunday night.
Yeah,
Chargers-Dolphins.
I definitely take that. Would
Um,
have taken Niners, Steelers,
yeah, I would have taken
and
Browns,
Browns,
Bengals,
Bengals.
Pats, Eagles.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, that is a bummer. Bills Jets should be a fun game though. I'm excited for this one a lot because main stage, two quarterbacks that everyone loves, and we get to see what these two teams are made out of, and two teams with like flaws that we're almost waiting to see, like waiting to circle. Like these are their flaws, guaranteed, and it'll be exciting to see who comes out on top on that one.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like going biggest unknowns this year, at least on like contending teams. It's how's Aaron Rodgers gonna look in a Jets uniform? I think is number one, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well.
I'm glad that they're in prime time, as much as I am sick of the Rodgers stuff.
No, they needed this to be in prime time. Out of all the hype and everything, if this is a 1 p.m. that no one got to see, it wouldn't have all this offseason hype would have been for
At
nothing.
home too.
Yeah, all this offseason hype would have been for nothing. So this is a perfect way to end off week 1. I'm excited. You want to hear something funny that I had to do on Sunday?
Sure.
It's my 1-year anniversary. My girlfriend. So.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. So, I decided we're gonna do brunch, and we have to be back home by 12:45.
There you go.
Yep. So I'm ready. We're locked in.
Don't ruin it watching the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Week 1.
It has to be. It has to be before all the. I got to be locked in at 1. Can't miss anything at week 1. Got to be locked in at 1. So, all right. Is that all we got?
Guess so.
A little 40-minute pod.
We're gonna be a longer pod next week.
No, yeah, it'll be longer. We did a lot 2 days ago, so that's why. This will be a quick little diet pod for everyone right before week 1. Thank you all for listening.
I mean, it's our first time going back to 2 weeks, so
that's true.
Overload.
Yeah, that's true. We can't have 2-hour long pods. All right. Thank you all for listening. We are gonna do some schedule. We're gonna talk about some scheduling things. We might be on some different days. We'll keep everyone updated by the start of the week. We'll post our wise picks Sunday morning as well. Check the Instagram, check the Twitter. Make sure to follow us on those. It's where all of our information goes out. We'd appreciate a follow. We'd appreciate a like, comment, all that jazz. Thank you all for listening. See everyone next week to recap all this great football we're about to get. Let's go Pats. Let's go Commanders. See everyone on Monday or Tuesday.